Hey, it's the Fish Guy back in the studio reporting to you for Fish Guy TV. So tell me, what do I do to take care of it? Where do I start? There you go. It's the Fish Guy with something fishy, and
John the Science Guy with something fishy.
so today we're here to talk about the additives that are going to go into your reef tank. And it's a topic that's way over my head, so we had to bring the science guy in. So Sean, I have a reef tank behind me, and it's full of all hard and soft corals. So tell me, what do I do to take care of it? Where do I start?
Well, the most critical part for any reef tank is to maintain your calcium and alkalinity. To do so, you're going to use a few products to do that. The first one being calcium, the second one being 8,4. Calcium, or calcification, will increase the amount of calcium that is in the water that is available for the corals to uptake.
Why do they have to uptake it?
Corals, hard corals especially, grow by taking calcium and carbonate out of the water, combining it together to form calcium carbonate of their coral skeletal structure. To do so, we add calcium and 8,4 to bring those two components into the water to allow corals to do so.
So you're saying that 8,4 raises the carbonate in the water and calcium raises the calcium? So if I hear you right, that means we have calcium and carbonate in the water by adding those two products? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Oh, I'm getting it. Okay. This is great.
Now some people may run into an issue where their alkalinity or their carbonate level may be all right and their calcium level is all right, but they still need to bolster their pH because pH is a big component of this as well. If that's the case, you would use a product called Balance. That's going to increase some calcium, but also increase your pH without touching your alkalinity.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Under normal circumstances, I need calcium and carbonates, which are maintained by alkalinity within the system. But sometimes there can also be a pH fluctuation different from my alkalinity, because I always thought alkalinity and pH are tied together. But what you're saying is sometimes they can vary.
Correct.
So you could have the correct alkalinity but not enough pH. And if that happens, you need to add
You would add
the
Balance.
buffer.
Yep.
Awesome.
Which is the hydroxide blend. Critical to calcification as well is magnesium. Without any magnesium in the water, you would run into major calcification issues because magnesium allows calcium and alkalinity to be locked together inside the tissue of the coral. If you have a magnesium depletion, the product called Ions, which has magnesium and a couple other trace elements and minerals, will bolster your magnesium levels and thus allow calcification to occur much more rapidly.
So one more thing then. So what you're saying is if there's no magnesium in the tank, none of this may work.
Correct.
So your magnesium's got to be right as well.
That's
but
correct.
the corals don't have magnesium in them.
No, they do not.
So it's just a function to make everything work.
Correct.
Ah, I got it.
All right. One thing that is depleted on a very small amount is iodine, and that's where the product Vibrance comes into play. Iodine is removed through protein skimming and algal growth, and therefore if you don't have enough of it, it's good to get a little bit more back into the water. A product like Vibrance will do so very, very well. The next product on the line here is called Fuel. And that's a little bit different than the rest of these guys. Fuel is more of a food source for the corals. It has carbohydrates, fatty acids, and all sorts of good things that the corals can ingest that is going to ultimately help their growth rate. And so you gotta have all this. These are, I like to call, the building blocks, and then the fuel is what really drives the growth, along with any of the other foods that you're feeding your corals.
So that's kind of like the nutrition, like your meat and potatoes and the vegetables, I should say, right?
It's kind of like the vitamins that you would put on your meat and potatoes.
Oh, for the muscles, right?
Correct.
Got it.
And then this last product here, this is called Alpha. Somebody who's doing a reef tank such as this typically is using a purified water source. Therefore, you wouldn't really need to use this. If you're using city water, which we don't really recommend, this is essentially a dechlorinator, which takes out the chlorines and the heavy metals of your city water and enables the water to be good for your reef and fish additives. It's not something that we use in service. It's not something that we recommend because we really prefer using reverse osmosis deionized water. But in a bind, this will work to take out the chlorine and heavy metals for your fish tank. So in wrapping up, this line by Seachem is a great line. It's our primary line that we use in service, and it should cover all of your needs in terms of all the chemistry issues in the reef tank.
That's pretty cool. Now I understand what you've been talking about for the last 15 years. Great. I think I can now maintain a reef tank just fine.
This product is only available in stores. We encourage you to come on into Something Fishy and check it out. And check out more of our videos online to get more great tips.
Hey, it's Kurt the Fish. No, we're ready. Okay. Hey, it's the Fish Guy from Something Fishy, bringing you the latest news from Fish Guy TV. Today we're Today's episode of Fish Guy TV is going to be brought to you by our training module, and it'll be specifically on your aquarium.